DMV all reminds me of California, cause there's no place like California. California, ayy. California, no place like California. C-A all day. C-A D-M-V-N-I-A all reminds me of C-A. Sean.
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned in to the NFL on EA Sports. Today's matchup features a very good rushing offense. The Lions are top 10 in rushing TDs, and they'll go up against the Eagles defense that needs to be ready for it. With that, it's time to hook up with our commentators in the booth as we turn it over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, EA Sports coverage of the NFL sends us to the state of Michigan as we are inside Ford Field in downtown Detroit. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup lined up here between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Detroit Lions. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And a couple yards deep, he'll go to a knee. He won't return it. And they'll take it out to the 25. Dwayne Washington, his first carry, and able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Staying on the ground with Washington. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play. And just like that, it's 3rd down. So the Lions go backwards there, and unfortunately that's something they saw a lot in 2015. They had the fewest rushing yards of any team in the NFL.
And it's one of those dubious titles that no one really wants to claim. Even teams who say, well, I'll worry about running it because we throw it all the time. Being able to run it when you want to is a key to success in the NFL, and Detroit struggled doing that.
They brought in an extra defensive back here, so probably not expecting a run on 3rd and 3.
A good call.
Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he brings this up to the 46, good enough for the first. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice gain.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football.
Without a doubt, or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him. That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. Second down, Dalton. It's complete to Golden Tate. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. And without a doubt, not the way they pictured that opening drive unfolded.
No, they were making progress. They weren't exactly in high gear, but they were making a few yards along the way. And now that they've coughed it up, you got to go back to the sidelines and regroup a little bit.
Now they'll run it on the toss. A gain of 3, second down.
In today's NFL, you hear all the time about stretching the field and creating space in order to run plays. A toss play will help accomplish that because now you're pushing a defense to chase you all the way to the edges and to the sideline. That's a nice run, probing now early to try and get things done later. I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
First down and 10 now for the offensive group.
I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just 3rd and inches. No reason to dance around in the backfield and try and break off a bigger play. Just go pick up the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. That led to a really nice game.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1.
Well, that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. So nothing there. I don't know that that's all in the back, though. You got to look at blocking there, don't you?
I would agree with that totally. At some point, they have to win at the point of attack. Instead, it was the defense getting it done again and holding them to no gain.
And he connects with Ertz. And he's brought down after a good gain. A gain of 32 that time.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off.
And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Darius Jennings, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Eagles have taken the early lead. Solid job up front, really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
Yeah, that was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run, end result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Franks now on to kick it away after the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over. The other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Now, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. Dalton throwing on second down. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that in just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
3rd down, a shot here for Dalton. And this is going to be incomplete.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Taking it about the 16. A terrific return there. 27 yards all told. And the Eagles take possession. Now they'll run it on the toss. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
So this game's not very far along, and he's already found the end zone once, and now he started this drive with another big gain, another first down run. I've got to wonder if I'm the defensive coordinator. What do I do in this situation? It's only the first quarter, but do I go ahead and sell out and try and slow him down and make him beat me another way? Because the risk is if I don't, he ends up having a monster game. That was another good run, and he's having an excellent day. And right now, I don't think his team could have any more confidence in handing him the football.
Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
So let me make sure I have this right. He's already found the end zone once, and now he's ripped off a big chunk of yardage here on this one. His confidence is awfully high. So now I've got to put myself in the shoes of the defensive coordinator. Do I go ahead and sell out to try and stop him and force him to do something different? Or do I risk him having a big monster day against my defense?
A good pickup there at 22.
When big runs occur, sometimes there's a sense that things were pretty easy, and that one carried him down inside the 10. But getting into the end zone now, that won't be easy at all because you're going to face different defenses and not as much real estate to work with. Will they be able to run it?
And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. A great play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Eagles had 6 to their lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
That'll be taken in the end zone. Well, some might have returned that one. He won't. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start the drive from the 25. Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now?
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
It's really simple to say that they know their identity, that they are a passing team. But one of the reasons that they're so successful, they know how to mix in the run and make sure that they keep the defense off balance and not able to just simply say, let's go get the quarterback and disrupt things.
8 yards to go here on 2nd down. Right back to Washington. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
And while there was no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. I think we're getting really close to that point in time, though, where the identity may have to go out the window, and they've got to go a little bit faster in order to try and win the game.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've hit the end of quarter 1. Plenty of scoring here already. We're back to the Motor City after this. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
The NFL on EA Sports is brought to you by Head & Shoulders. Shoulders were made for greatness, not dandruff.
Here with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, as the Lions are in possession of the football here to begin quarter number 2. They're facing a tough spot, 3rd and 8 here to start things out. Play action here with Dalton. Surveying the field. Still back there. Wide open receiver complete. And he's brought down after a good gain. And that goes as a gain of 37 on 3rd down. Nice completion there for Andy Dalton. Charles, you worked some of his games when he was at TCU. Now you've worked his games in the NFL. What progression have you seen?
I've seen a guy who took over as a freshman in college and got better and better each year. Always added a little bit more to his game, gets stronger. But the best part about him is he's always been accurate. Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. And defensively, maybe an opportunity miss there.
No doubt about it. When that ball's out, all you're thinking about as a defender is, this is our chance to make a huge play. Instead, he's able to recover his own.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. A great effort there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Lions able to get this back within a touchdown.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
This will be taken in at the 1. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And now last drive so successful with the ground game, ending in a touchdown. Do you stick with that formula?
That would be the #1 thing you would think of, but so many guys now would look at it and say, we've got them set up so well for play action, now's the time to take a shot.
Yeah.
But, you know, there was a big-time coach in the state of Ohio who once said, if you throw the ball, if you put it in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. He kept it on the ground.
Now Wentz. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Jordan Matthews, the one he was looking for. 3rd down here.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
So now at 3rd and 12 with an extra defender here in the secondary. A nickel look. Then he hits his man, Matthews. And they convert on 3rd with a gain of 22.
Well, the advantage has certainly shifted to the defense as we began that 3rd down play, and they found a way to foil it and pick up a first down.
3rd time's a charm, right? 2 incompletions. Had to have it on 3rd, and they got it. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. They'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line.
Offensively, when you see cover 2, the thought has to go through the quarterback's head. Drive the football when making throws. It's not just the deep guys covering. It's the guys underneath you have to be careful of. Drive your throw. Otherwise, you see what results? Interceptions.
That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
That was a good, strong run there. And while it won't pick up a first down, it was definitely something needed by that offense. A positive run. They got a good push by their guys up front. Maybe something they can build on as this game continues.
It's 2nd down. Now he's hit, and Dalton lost the football. And it's picked up the big fella. 20, 10, 5, and he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return and an Eagle touchdown. And give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice you're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now.
Let's go, D. It's going to be a long day, offense. It's going to be a long day.
They go with Washington to begin the drive. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. And the offense behind the chains here a touch on 2nd and 11.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line is just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe you keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
Incomplete pass on 2nd down. Let's see what the offense draws up here on 3rd. Third down from the gun. Dalton. It's caught. Jones. Marvin Jones. Past the 20. Touchdown, Detroit. Marvin Jones with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Lions have got it back to a one-score game.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
So after the touchdown, Martin now on to kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
Fresh set of downs here. So they're on that play. Offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage. So as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let him know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle. When they're moving on crossing routes, if you miss a tackle, it usually results in a big play.
On 2nd down, he rifles one that's intercepted. A big seam, and he might go all the way. And he will bring it back. An interception return for the Lions touchdown. Extra point now by Boswell. And the lead is now 2. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This is taken at the 3. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call a timeout. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. Defense has set themselves up nicely. 3rd and 10 now. Now Wentz on 3rd down. Looking left side, he's got it. Complete. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. And they're going to speed things up here. Now a play fake here on first down. They'll roll him out right. He's got his man on the crossing route. It'll be a gain of 9, and it'll be second and about a yard to go for the first. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
So they're operating in the red zone.
Usually hitting a deep post pattern, as we just saw there for a big gainer, that's tough to do because you usually have a safety or two in the middle of the field. But if you hit enough crossers and underneath routes and curls, start to get those guys creeping up, wanting to make plays on the football. It's the equivalent of a changeup in baseball. You show your other stuff, throw the changeup, and on that play, it'll work for big yardage.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And a nice carry there of 15 yards. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. A fresh set of downs, and they're at the 1. First and goal. And he is going to lose yardage here. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So as they take it over, we step aside. Field goal unit not out there. They want 6 before halftime. The final shot before half. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Corey Coleman as time expires in the first half. And once again, the Eagles are back out in front. So instead of trailing into the lockers, they grab the lead with the clock reading all zeros before intermission.
I would love to go into the locker room with them because right now they're riding a nice wave, aren't they? They're feeling good about themselves.
And hello, I guess Larry's halftime show is buttoned through. And we are moving on and ready to go for the third quarter. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Decent chunk of yardage still left here. 2nd and 7.
Tough day. Tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
So the run gets them the first, and now they operate with a fresh set of downs. On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. And his throw is incomplete. Matthews unable to hang on, and now it's 2nd down. Unable to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's 2nd down. Back to the air on 2nd down. Wentz throwing left side. It's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but able to take it inside the 40-yard line. And the offense lining up 1st and 10.
Tight end right. Watch tight. Tight end right. All right, here we go.
And to give this time to the tailback. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front? Creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility.
Play clock winding down. Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. And Matthews over the middle with a grab. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
They'll need to get the play off quickly. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Darius Jennings, his 2nd touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. And the Eagles add on to their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
So they're going to go for 2.
Double tight. Double tight. We got 4.
The play clock's running down. Now whistles and a timeout signaled here by the offense, and that's their first of this 2nd half. And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes the timeout, and now we're set to get going. And they will line up now for the 2-point try. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he is into the end zone again as he scores both the touchdown and the 2-point conversion to extend this lead. Franks now on to kick it away after the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the 2nd half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start. I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Alone to the right is Jones. Dalton. Deep drop. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and that's going to bring up a third down.
I'm going to show my age here a little bit. We used to talk about running backs catching the ball as safety valves. Nowadays, they're a big part of the passing offense.
Quit acting like you're so old. You're only 65.
380. 380.
Third down, a shot here for Dalton. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up fourth.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Fielded just inside the 20. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They'll come out in the pistol. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Yeah, let me puff out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
You've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
And the defense searches for one more stop here after the run on 2nd down. And the Lions going with an extra DB here on 3rd down. Throwing is Wentz. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested and often physically. Sometimes that leads to drops.
So it looks like the offense isn't going anywhere. They're going to go for it on 4th and 7. Wentz now to throw. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. A great read, and it's picked off. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
And Detroit getting set to go now. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
And he's brought down. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Defense in a good spot. Let's see how the offense responds with a 2nd and 13 now.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
And the evidence shows last week's game, it's really leaked into a 2nd game now, Charles. What do you think of this?
And it's a surprise, isn't it? Because when we spent time watching them practice, talking with the coaches, they felt like a bounce back was going to happen this week. They were very confident in the game plan, thought the defenses they would see would present great opportunities for big-time runs. We're not
back now at Ford Field. It's the Lions trailing, but with possession of the football as we get set to bring you the 4th quarter. And Boswell's kick is good. And that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11. So a good kick there, and they wrap up the drive by putting 3 on the board.
And you know, let's face it, you're not always going to come away with 6. Defense in the NFL are just too good. But you've got to come away with something. And there, they get 3.
Now it's Martin to do the honors after the made field goal. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
Now a handoff as they run left side. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding, keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Holding offense.
So third and 11. And some extra depth in the secondary here. They're in the dime. To throw is Wentz. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or a takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
Delay of game, offense.
So the penalty by the offense, and now they face a 1st and 15. Again, we'll see the pistol here.
Now let's go. 3-19.
Wentz going to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. There he goes, left side. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Darius Jennings with his 3rd touchdown so far, number 13 now on the year. And the Eagles had 6 to their lead. Well, he's used to running it that distance. Here he had to catch it, too, before making the run. Heck of a play for the score.
There's not many things better for an offense than a back who is a complete guy who can run it and catch it. And we just saw him complete a big-time play for a touchdown.
Frank's now on to kick it away after the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score.
Hey, watch 11, watch 11. Single. Hey, 380.
1st and 10 for Dalton. Under heavy pressure, and down goes Dalton on the sack. Fletcher Cox in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
Dalton throwing on 2nd down. Caught right side, Tate. He showed off the athletic juke, but it didn't buy him a whole lot of real estate. It'll be a gain of 6, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Third down and 12. So the D-line's going to spread out. 3rd down from the gun, Dalton. And he dropped it. Now it was tipped. Altered the ball a little bit, but he dropped it. And now 4th down.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky.
This is taken at the 23. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Eagles coming out as they get ready. And that rested in a touchdown. Looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we were the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in their similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. Time running out here on the play clock. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 20. The first down play. And in this situation with a lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
And he'll be out of bounds up past the 45. And defensively, they just don't seem to have much of an answer for this passing game.
Not at all. Look at the confidence that's exhibited here. With that type of a lead, clock on their side, instead of running it, they're still throwing it, trying to pick up first downs and keeping the football.
Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away. See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. They come up in an offset eye. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. 1st level defensive line, 2nd level linebackers, 3rd level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call it.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, is going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
To the right side to Eric Ebron. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that'll make this a 2nd down. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. It's 2nd down. Dalton looking. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. 3rd and long. What will Dalton dial up? Now he's hit, and Dalton lost the football. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. And welcome back. The offensive unit, they took the timeout. And now they get set to line up as we resume action.
Set, wide 20. Wide 20.
Big 4th down here. It's Dalton. And it is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And that's going to be just about all she wrote for this one. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And last time, the fumble to turnover. Now they still have the lead, but I don't think coaches care. The turnovers will bother them no matter what the scoreboard says.
That's the relief that you still have the lead, but coaches look at what if and what it should be. Turning the ball over when they've got a chance to score more points and increase the lead, that's what's going to affect them.
And they're also thinking to future weeks, maybe when the game's closer, right?
No doubt about it. You want to clean up everything. Let's just be honest about it. They want everything to be perfect at all times. They don't want to give up anything that's going to hurt their team. Well, I'd say that run's pretty emblematic of what we've seen all day long. No matter what they've done on offense, this offensive line has controlled the line of scrimmage, given them time to throw it, run it, do whatever they wanted. That's why there are points up on the board. And right now, the psyche of the offense, we're in control, and we can do whatever we feel like doing out here on the field.
Here we go.
Wentz to throw. Under pressure, and he'll go down.
Now I've been in New York, Texas, Midwest, and it all reminds me of California, cause there's no place like California. California, A-A-T-L-M-I-A-D-M-V, all reminds me of California, cause there's no place like California. California, New York, Texas, Midwest, and it all reminds me of California, cause there's no place like California. California, I got some out in Dallas, now I'm smelling like LA. Met it from Miami to the Machiavelli. Left the kids on the belly, left the vid on my celly. She ate like spaghetti, I'm hitting gas and Dreddy. Met some killers in Memphis, like they from Oakland. Give me my flowers while I can smell them. Ain't talking about roses, literally I'm lean. Mix it like a bought it in Nashville. Then I woke up in Tulsa, Oklahoma. It's sun, California, but nothing like Compton. It's more like Calistoga, and it's hot as Arizona. I pop me up Fresno, hard colder than Minnesota in October. Don't interrupt, darling, I'm in the zone. Why does everywhere I go just remind me of home? I've been in New York, come on, Texas, yeah, Midwest, and it all reminds me of California, cause there's no place like California. California, A-A-T-L-M-I-A-D-M-V, all reminds me of California, cause there's no place like California. California, California, no place like California. Fresh off a flight to Boston, got a BZ in Maryland that I pipe too often. Headed right to Austin, most likely flossing. Tight, exhausted, high as a forklift. Handful of goons out in Colorado.